actually good. So because we have such a crisis of masculinity in the current times, all of the commentators of the day are putting out like talks about the what real masculinity looks like. You have Kennedy Hall wrote Terror of Demons, How to Recapture True Masculinity. You have all these, then you get toxic guys like Andrew Tate trying to tell men how to be men. And the thing we overlook is how important women's role is, right? Because even in my own life, my dad was pretty much absent from teaching me the faith, but my mother wasn't. My mother played a vital role in teaching. Now, my mother showed me what holiness looks like in an ordinary person. And my mother, honestly, like even after my deeper conversion and I understood the doctrines of Mary, until I saw my mother, I have a brother who was dealing with substance abuse that was really, really severe, right? And all the men in the family were saying, tough love, cut him off, do whatever we have to cut him off and give him tough love. And my mother always kept this avenue open for him, where no matter what was going on, she called him every day and said, Michael, I don't care what's going on. I know you're up to whatever you're up to. Just know that I love you and you can always come home. Just know that I love you. You can always come home. And my brother, while he was using and going through, the only one he would talk to was my mom. He wouldn't talk to anyone else because he felt like my mom would talk to him without judging him. Me seeing that in my mother helped me understand the role of Mary as intercessor and as the font of mercy when you're in your worst sin, right? Because men are justice. It's like, no, there's something to that. We have to, there's where Mary has such an overpouring of mercy that I don't care how bad your sin is. She will always keep that line open where she'll say, I don't care what you're going through. Mercy, just come. I love you no matter what you're doing, no matter what you're going through. And it really helped me understand Mary's role as mediatrix of all graces. I never would have understood that just from the letters on the page. And women have such a beautiful calling and invocation. And that's not just for like natural mothers. It's really not. It's not, because I know there are women who are having a hard time conceiving. There are some women who aren't married. Your role as a woman, no matter what, if you're speaking to a younger woman or somebody that's away from the faith, a spiritual motherhood, anybody can be a mother or a father through your genes and just naturally having a child. But there's something holy about being a spiritual mother or father that, I mean, no matter who I'm talking to at work, I try to be some kind of a spiritual role model, not like I'm a role model, but I try to always talk to them about the things that nobody else does. If the guys are single, sleeping with their girlfriends out of wedlock, I try to tell them the positive things about marriage, how much I love my wife. Don't listen to these guys who all hate their marriage. There's a very big role that we all have as being spiritual fathers and mothers to those who are outside the faith.
Have you ever heard Fulton Sheen's quote about womanhood? He's got many, I'm sure, but so the one I'm thinking of is to a great extent, the level of any civilization is on the level of its womanhood. When a man loves a woman, he has to become worthy of her. The higher her virtue, the more noble her character, the more devoted she is to truth, justice, goodness, the more a man has to aspire to be worthy of her. The history of civilization could actually be written in terms of the level of its women.
Okay, so now Molly sent me earlier today the Father Ripperger's homily at Ryan Grant's wife's funeral. I sent it to my mom and my wife. I'm telling you, it really, I couldn't believe that she sent that to me right after I tweeted that, because it was like something was weighing on my heart that like, I make a lot of jokes about women being bad drivers. I make a lot of stupid misogynistic jokes. They're all sarcastic. None of them mean anything. Like,
except the drivers.
They're terrible drivers. I'm not kidding about that. They're horrible drivers. But the impact a holy woman can have on her children and on her husband it's immeasurable. Like, we can't actually quantify it. It's just